You may be tempted to flesh out supporting characters as you write. Here's why you shouldn't. Hi, I'm Matchstick, and this is about the creative in creative writing. You know the cigarette smoking man? I'm talking about the main antagonist from the X-Files, just a classic villain. Well, they never cast him in the show, and the writers didn't anticipate his most recognizable trait. I'm sure there was going to be a similar character, but he wasn't necessarily a smoker. Instead, the actor did all that. Mostly, he cast himself. It happened like this. In a scene they shot for the very first episode, there were several senior FBI agents in the room, all of them essentially just extras, actors with a line or two at most. One of the extras was the actor that became the cigarette smoking man. He just decided to take the role seriously, put some real acting into it, and, well, he killed it. The producers decided to make this actor, a random extra smoking a cigarette, the main antagonist of the series. I love that story, and I tell it here to illustrate a point. If you let them, sometimes minor characters will turn out to have much bigger roles in your story than you intended them to. Another example I heard about was that a snake, just a snake, in a Hellboy comic turned out to be the main villain later in that story. Now, I don't know what Mike Mignola's creative process there was exactly, but this is the point. If the snake had been given lines in its first scene, it wouldn't have been able to become that character later. In other words, the fact that it was just an extra gave Mignola the creative freedom to turn it into a major character later on. Now, the fact is that I've never heard a creator really talk about this phenomenon, and if I was just going by things I heard, this would be the end of the video. However, I'm a creator myself, and I know how it works firsthand as it happened in a short novel of mine. I'm not going to go into specifics, and this isn't promo, but I'll explain how it went down. In what was roughly the middle of the book, there was a section involving a reporter at a newspaper. He was fleshed out, but a related character, someone acting as his assistant, was not. The assistant had very few traits. He was a kid and was doing the work to try to get into the newspaper business. At the end of the section, I thought he was never going to show up again. However, the book's narrative ended up jumping forward several years, and I needed a new character for the new timeline, a writer. I was thinking he would just be some college kid until I made the connection. A kid character before the jump would be a young adult now. Suddenly, the assistant went from a single-use, throwaway character to a major figure in the last act of the novel, richer for the background he had. Point being, I would advise leaving characters vague, at least in a first draft. You might just end up using them for a bigger role later on. If you have something to say about this concept, drop it in the comments. Watch some other videos if you like this one, and subscribe to see more. Later.